and out your mouth, relaxing into your chair with your feet firmly on the ground. Sit in a comfortable position. Breathe deeply and slowly, allowing your body to relax deeper with every breath. You are safe here. There is nothing and no one who can harm you here. You are safe to let go and relax, safe in God's love for you. You are a perfect child of God. You are loved unconditionally. There is nothing you have done or can do to lose God's love for you. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are full of divine wisdom. You know what you have to do, and you do it. You are courageous. You make necessary adjustments in your life as you learn, willing to make positive changes, unfolding into divine insights, unfolding into your divine knowledge, unfolding into your divine power. You welcome your journey of self-reflection, self-actualization, as you breathe deeply in, breathe in the love, breathe out the fear, breathe in the knowledge, breathe out the doubt. With every breath, release anxiety, shame, anger, pain. You are a blessing to the world. You have a light that is uniquely yours. You have a light that only you can shine. As every snowflake and fingerprint is unique, as every leaf is unique, you are divinely unique and cannot be compared to anyone else. You have gifts only you can give. You have thoughts only you can share. You have blessings only you can bestow. God works miracles through you. As you breathe in this knowing, with every breath, release all old sentiments or resentments or beliefs that have held you back. Release any constrictions or fears. Express your true self. Affirm your intention to do better than you have done. Choose better than you have chosen. Be better than you have been. Experience things, people, and situations that are beneficial to you and the world. You are a blessing to yourself and the world. You are a celebration of all that is good. You are love in human form. We will take 2 minutes of silence. As we return to the room, take a deep breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Give a little stretch if necessary. Good morning. As we are now getting ready for the Christmas season, a lot of people get very hectic and I've got to have this perfect and that perfect, and we can drive ourselves a little crazy during this time of year. So one thing I encourage everybody is to do what makes you happy. If it makes you happy to decorate, decorate. If not, go to Mark's, buy about $20 worth of poinsettias, and that's it. You know, do whatever works for you. This is about you being happy and you being content during the Christmas season. Today's talk is called Come as a Child. 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, I took my two youngest grandchildren, Keegan and Kira, then about 9 years old, on their very first airplane trip. They'd never been on an airplane. And we were returning my son's son, older cousin, back to Florida. Their excitement and enthusiasm was such fun to watch. My grandson, Keegan, the more nervous of the two, he started showing signs of apprehension at the brand new experience. And as the plane started taxiing down the runway, he was getting nervous. As we lifted off and gained altitude, my granddaughter, Kira, who's the more vocal, dramatic, and creative of the two, let out a squeal of delight. Look at the buildings. Look at the cars. They look like toys. And my favorite was, I think I can see our house. That was followed by, wow, we're over the clouds. As I handed them each a piece of bubble gum for ear-popping insurance, I wished I could experience that level of excitement for virtually anything anymore. I still enjoy traveling and flying to places unknown, but just once I'd love to feel that surge of anticipation and excitement again, that first time feeling of, wow, look at that. We're above the clouds. Also with us was my other grandson, Connor. He was 14, and with all the calm maturity of an accomplished traveler, because he had been around a lot, and he turned from his seat, showing a braces-laden smile at the childlike wonder of his cousins. Of course, once we were in the air and they settled down, the first sign from the flight attendant, they turned on their iPads and they were glued to their screens for the next 3 hours. I've looked back into my past and I've tried to figure out when was that month, that week, that day, that moment when my wow turned to meh. When did I watch TV for the fun of it instead of watching to release the stress of the day? When did I feel that tingle of excitement on a trip to an amusement park? Now I just have to remember to wear my orthotics and take Dramamine. When did I anticipate creating a cool new Halloween costume when now it's easier to pull out last year's out of the closet if I dress up at all? When did I start living Peggy Lee's lament? Is that all there is? Is it just me? Or do those really good giggle fests and uncontrollable laughing fits seem to diminish with age? Why do we find it hard to lose control? Why do we stifle a big laugh with a smile or squish it into a moderate chuckle? When I do my comedy show, in the introduction, I literally give my audience permission to laugh out loud because I see women especially do this. They hide their laugh behind a hand. With the state of the world the way it is, we need to express laughter and love more than ever. We need to rediscover the world through the eyes of a child. Jesus said, "Let the children come to me. Do not hinder them. I say to you clearly, unless you are people who accept the kingdom of God, you will never be able to enter it." The way I interpret that is Jesus loved the little children for their openness, their vulnerability, their unconditional love and honesty and inquisitive nature, their uninhibited laughter and open hearts. We see many pictures of Jesus talking with the little children, and most of us in Unity believe the kingdom of God, aka heaven, is inside of us. I believe God wants us to be more like children in that faith, laughter, unconditional love, trust, and belief. I saw a video of two little boys, and they had a bottle, like a bottle of soda, and the two little boys, the one took a sip, and he started laughing uncontrollably. I mean, literally uncontrollably. And then he handed the bottle to the other little boy, and he took a sip, and he started laughing uncontrollably. And they kept trading the bottle back and forth and laughing until they just could barely breathe. They were laughing so hard. And I thought, where do you buy this? I want to buy this. I want a bottle of that stuff. When we were little children, we didn't care what people thought. We were able to laugh at ourselves. We were okay with people laughing at us. And when did we start to take ourselves so seriously? When did we stop dancing with abandon and telling corny jokes and using our imagination to be playful? And what can we do to rediscover the part of ourselves that doesn't worry about making a fool of ourselves? I know there's one person in particular I think of that has this down. Carol Bailey Floyd. She finds the joy in everything, every day, every little thing. No matter what she's doing, she is joyful and childlike in her love of life. I want some of that. Can you bottle that, Carol? Personally, I would love to recapture that childlike feeling. I want to go to McDonald's and think it's the best place in the world to eat. I want to walk down the beach and only think of the feel of the sand between my toes and finding some cool seashell or piece of beach glass. I want to collect my allowance and not worry about paying taxes. I want to be driven wherever I want to go and have someone make me grilled cheese and tomato soup and get tucked into bed with a kiss or a song or a story. I want to spend my days playing with friends, napping when tired, and letting someone else worry about schedules and the dentist and how to get money to fix the car. I want to believe when I'm happy, so is everybody else. I want to believe the world is fair. Wouldn't that be awesome? I want that time back. I want to escape to that place where when my computer crashes and I have a deadline, or when my roof leaks, or when I get a diagnosis of a root canal or a looming colonoscopy appointment. I know it's not possible to give up all the adult responsibilities, and it's not that I want to relive my life. I'm pretty happy with the way things have turned out so far, but I want to be able to revisit that child state of mind. Life was good, but I didn't know it. I was so anxious to grow up. My daughter told me one day, she called me and she said, "I'm tired of adulting. I don't want to adult anymore." Haven't we all had those days? We don't need expensive vacations or pricey electronics. The joy can be found in simple things. Fun can be found at the grocery store or washing our car or cleaning the garage. Sword fights in the kitchen with the wrapping paper, cardboard. This Christmas, when you use wrapping paper, save those cardboard inserts and have sword fights in your kitchen. They don't hurt. And you can do that until they're just raggy and throw them in the trash at that point. Or walk on the furniture and avoid the lava. Remember that? Or the vacuum cleaners, the alligator. My mom had an Electrolux, so that was the alligator. Now, I'm not talking about placing a whoopee cushion under the minister's seat at church or wearing Groucho glasses to a funeral. But when's the last time you played at a playground or created something with Play-Doh or made a snow angel? That's what Mike does when we go in the hot tub in the wintertime if there's snow on the ground. He jumps out of the hot tub and he makes a snow angel and jumps back in the hot tub, catching fireflies to set them free. I know there's some people who have managed to maintain that childlike sense of wonder, like Carol. I also saw it during the women's retreat this year. That was a really neat experience. For those of you who didn't go next year. It was so fun. And I watched Beverly Fox, who I think is up there. She got the game Mousetrap. Remember that game Mousetrap? And you have to build this thing one by one, piece by piece. She was laughing. You could just hear her voice, her laughter resonated through the room. And she was so joyful when they finally got this thing to work. It warmed my heart. I lost that somewhere along the way. And for most of us, we're afraid. We don't want to be labeled a Pollyanna, or we don't want to be considered silly or foolish. Being a child is different. Being childlike is different than being immature or childish. Childish is immature, irresponsible, undependable. But being childlike is being playful, willing to do fun stuff, being willing to laugh at yourself. If you trip, if you make a mistake, if you do something, laugh at yourself. That's really powerful, to be able to laugh at yourself. You have more energy. You're willing to open your mind to new adventures. We can't turn the clock back, but we can rewind it. It definitely helps when you become a grandparent. At least it did for me. Having a grandchild sort of gives you permission to be the way you couldn't always be when you were a parent. It's not about responsibilities and discipline anymore. Grandparents can be fun. You can have ice cream for breakfast. You can give the kids cotton candy and Red Bull and send them home. You can spoil them rotten. You don't have to be the day-to-day, hour-to-hour responsibilities of being a parent. You can cut loose and chillax. We have to find ways to make our fun. Several years ago, I and 3 other Unity ladies, Jody Soland, a lady named Debbie, who's no longer with the church, and we went with Mary Ann McClellan to an overnight at a resort. You remember that? And I bought these gems, plastic gems that had stick 'em on the back. And we all stuck one in the middle of our forehead. And we wore it all weekend. And we all made up backstories that Mary Ann was our adopted mother. And we were all from different parts of the world. And we gave ourselves histories, backstories of how we were adopted by Mary Ann. And everywhere we went, people would see us together laughing and having a good time, and we all had these things on our heads. And they would ask us, where we were from. Jody was from Norway, and Debbie was from Ethiopia, and I was from France or something. And we laughed afterward. We got back to our room, and we're giggling and laughing and talking about what we did. I miss that. I miss being able to be silly like that. We all said yes, and we supported each other's stories, and we had a good time. Children like playing dress up. Once a year, I didn't do it last year, but since my granddaughter was 5, I would try to take her once a year to some big Broadway touring company production. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, The King and I, Wicked, at the Playhouse Square. And I always would get good seats, and we got all dressed up. We wore our fanciest stuff, and I bought tiaras at a bridal shop. And we would have to wear, the deal was, if you go to the play with me, you got to wear a tiara. And so we both wore tiaras every time we went. And you get a lot of attention when you have a tiara on, you know. We had a lot of smiles and a lot of compliments, and you could see other people really admiring the fact that there we were, she and I, wearing tiaras and having a good time. I admit I'd feel foolish going out wearing a tiara by myself, but with Kira I had permission to do it. It not only created a special memory for her, but for me. When I was a child, Christmas was a special time. We did not have money, and my parents were not the spoil their child type. We didn't get cool birthday parties. We didn't get presents during the year. We didn't get summer camp or any of that stuff. But on Christmas, we would go to bed. They'd put us to bed around 9 o'clock or whatever. At 4 in the morning, they would wake us up. Santa's been here, Santa's been here, Santa's been here. And we would come out of our beds, and we'd have that silver aluminum Christmas tree with the color wheel, you know. And it'd be loaded with presents, just loaded with presents. And to this day, I remember the smell of opening up a new doll, that rubber plastic smell when you open a box with a new doll in it. There was this feeling in the air, the wonder of the season. People seemed friendlier. Lights and songs and decorations were everywhere. I continued this with my own children, always overdoing it at Christmas time, baking cookies, decorating the tree, wrapping the presents. But as they get older, it starts to lose. They want gift cards. They want cash. They want gasoline credit cards. So about 12 years ago, my husband Mike and I became Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. We bought very beautiful outfits, and he started growing a real beard, getting it bleached out. And every year we volunteer at the annual Akron Children's Tree Festival fundraiser, and we do the Love the Children Ministries and several other events, some corporate, some charities. And we see thousands of children between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We see newborns who sleep through the whole process. We see toddlers who are afraid to come up to us, and they do the stiff body thing where they slide off your lap, you can't hold them. We see the adolescent teens who begrudgingly stand there and get their picture with Santa because their parents are insisting. And then we see the older people who think, what the heck, I'm going to get on Santa's lap. Our favorites are the children between 3 and 8, those who truly believe, those who are beside themselves with excitement. I love seeing a part of the wonder of Christmas through the eyes of a child. The excitement, the magic, the joy. Santa is the magic and love and spirit of giving to others. And at some age, people start to doubt. And a young man asked, "Is there a Santa Claus?" And Dad answered, "You're old enough, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Yes, there is a Santa Claus." And Santa is represented by this guy in the red suit with the beard. And you see lots of them at different places, and that's a representation of Santa Claus. But at some age, You become Santa Claus. Kids are too young to understand sometimes the nature of Santa. The truth is, Santa is an idea. Santa is the idea of giving for the sake of giving, with no expectation of thanks, no expectation of appreciation. You have to be Santa. Santa without the suit. And Santa's still there, but you are also a part of Santa. Now, if you haven't decorated for a while, try to decorate this year. Make popcorn or construction paper garland. Have you stopped sending Christmas cards? At least send to the people out of town that you don't get to see very often. Color some homemade cards. Make a gingerbread house. Find someone you know who's having a rough time and get them something they could really need, and do it anonymously. Kids have a special way of seeing Christmas. Isn't it time for us to recapture some of that spirit? I'd like to end this with a short video that really just made me smile from ear to ear and shows kids interpreting the first Christmas. If we can turn the lights down for a second. The kids are interpreting the first Christmas, and the parents are acting it out.
An angel came to see Mary. She was doing laundry, and then the angel just appeared and she was really scared. So Gabriel was like, Mary, you're going to have what? I can't say it again. Mary, you're going to have a baby. You're going to have a baby, and you will call him Jesus. And then Mary was like, I'm not going to have a baby yet. I'm only a teenager. I'm not married.
So it was the parents who went along with this idea, and I'm sure they had a ton of fun doing this. Find some way to, this week, to do something for somebody else, be kind, share the love, and find a way to laugh. Thank you.